What a win. I think I just have to soak it in, man. And I think for the Arsenal fans, for the opposition fans, for Spurs fans, I guess too, just soak it in, man. The last second controversies, the late goals, the the mistakes in this game, we put all that to the side just to think that we are 2 games away. Probably our hardest game of the season we've now won and gotten past in terms of the Premier League, sorry. We have 2 more games left to go. And all we have to do is win them both. Win 2 more. Burnley at home should be a gimme. Crystal Palace away, they're going to be rotating. But even if they don't rotate as much as we think, or maybe some players do come on late on like they did today for Crystal Palace, it doesn't matter. We have to win those games. Those games have to be wins for us. And man, the adrenaline, the fear. I think I changed the position I was sitting in, maybe 6 or 7 times. To be frank, like I was sitting against the bed over there. I was sitting on the edge of the bed over there. I was sitting in between, right behind me, in all sorts of positions. Um, Pause. But what a game! What a game! Cinema, Premier League cinema. Um, I think to start lineup, keeping the same lineup, great. Started the game amazing. We should have scored 2 or 3 in the first half. Trossard header, Trossard post, Calafiori, um, 1 or 2 others that are just not coming to my mind right now. Just the adrenaline, to be fair, is just lost me. But all besides the point. Should have been 2 or 3, but then the Ben White substitution comes on, and I think if we're analyzing the game properly, which is I'm really struggling to do because this game means so much, and that win means so much that yes, manager made some mistakes. Yes, some players didn't rise to the occasion or as much as we would have hoped. But who cares about all that? Who cares? We've got the win. But if we have to analyze the game, I would say that White injury is the first mistake Arteta made. I think he overthought it a little bit. I think he thought that moving Rice out the midfield and having Zubi and MLS in the midfield would work in this game against this team since they only had 2 midfielders. I think he thought it would work, and I think he thought that their main threats were their 3 forwards. So putting Rice in right back can cover that same threat in transition. I don't think he thought about the fact that let's say they pick up the ball in transition. There's a big space in between the midfield and the defense that MLS and Zubi just can't get to, which is what Rice would usually do. And so you saw after that substitution, there was momentum that went their way, and you could see that it went from we were dominating them and we should be 3-0 up to okay, this is getting nervy. Halftime comes, and I think this is the second mistake. To rectify the first mistake, he makes another mistake in subbing off Calafiori, moving MLS to left back, and subbing on Mascara, putting him right back. The substitution should have just been done at 1 with Mascara right back. And obviously there's concerns about Zubimendi and stuff, but I think that's something to talk about later. I don't think we need to talk about that right now. Who cares? But yeah, White injury obviously a concern. Hopefully he's fit for next week Burnley, but regardless if he isn't, Mosquera is good enough to hold it down for us there. But yeah, I think that was obviously a big concern was that second substitution, because Calafiori was one of our most threatening players and is one of our most threatening players in combination with Trossard all the time. And second half, it went more to us dominating again, but we weren't creating the chances. It wasn't working out. Saka had a few pop shots, but just wasn't working out for him. I think also, excuse the bad hair, brother. I have adrenaline is probably changing my hair. Also, sleeping after a shower, this is what it does to you. Bad hair, it is what it is. There was that substitution was probably the second mistake Arteta made today. And then after that, yeah, like I said, Saka pop shots didn't work out. I don't think Saka raised it to his level today. I think As a same thing. Didn't really get much in the game. Gyökeres was running and tried his hardest, won some fouls, but besides that, didn't really do much on the ball today. Definitely his worst performance out of the last 4 games, starting from Atletico Madrid away. I think it shows the relationships that right hand side and that the left side hand side, the relationships on those sides, how that impacts the rest of the team. I think White coming off did really hamper us. Even in the second half when we did sub on Mosquera, I think part of why we looked hampered was because of Calafiori was off, and that was one of our big threats. And moving MLS back to left back, which I don't think worked out. We got lucky with that one, but on top of that, I just think Mosquera just isn't. He doesn't have the attacking IQ in the. He doesn't have the IQ in the final third to contribute enough to help out Bakayo and Ezia or whoever's playing in the 10. But I think the one big thing that Arteta did right was keeping on Trossard. I was thinking, what do you do? Do you sub on Trossard? Do you sub on Hincapie for MLS? I don't know, honestly. I was so confused as to what to do, but he kept on Gyökeres, which I thought was good because Gyökeres was definitely like him pressing and him just running the channels that when we kicked it long would definitely helping us get up the pitch and just putting some pressure on them. I think on top of that, I think keeping Trossard on was a masterstroke because obviously he scores the winning goal. But I think the other big game changer was subbing on Martin Odegaard. And I think obviously the conversation on Odegaard is sad to see because he's our captain, and it's also unfortunate, but it's been deserved. He hasn't been at that level, but who cares if he's not been at that level for the prior 35 games in the Premier League season so far? Well, that's because of injury, because of actual form. He did what we needed him to do today. Right? He came in and he impacted the game. Him and Kai Havertz not as much, but little bits and bobs, I guess. Same with Gyökeres. But I think Odegaard, the magic when he came on, he was literally what we expect from him, right? Able to break down low blocks or help break down low blocks. And it was perfect, right? Amazing progression into the box where he's using his close control to find a pass, finds the pass to Trossard, and Trossard, beautiful finish. You know what they say? If an alien is shooting a gun or threatening to destroy the earth, and you had one shooter to score with the planet on the line, it would either be Andre Iguodala or Leandro Trossard. Those are your two. And maybe Josko Gvardiol in 23-24. But Trossard, man, clutch. He was playing like he was the star player in the team today. Amazing performance from him. Odegaard, amazing performance from him. Gabriel, wow, what a block. Imperious defending today. I always say Saliba, and I'm always on the side of Saliba's better than Gabriel, but Gabriel makes the loud actions, and today was one of them. And then finally, I think I wanted to contribute just a section to this guy alone. David Raya, the best keeper, I would argue, in the world this season. Actually, no, the best keeper in the world this season. Courtois has had injuries. Alisson has had injuries. He's been better than everyone else. Right, those two are the only two that I would argue, from time to time this season could have been better than him or had a shout to be better than him. Alisson just because he's always amazing, and Courtois because we know what Courtois is. But Raya this season, Juan Garcia is another one that you'd probably put as a shout, especially the first half of the season. But no, entire season from August to now, what is May? David Raya, man, and I'm glad he got his clean sheet today. I'm glad he got his clean sheet today and outright wins the Golden Glove Award for 25-26 in the Champions League and the Premier League. But on top of that, what a save. I mean, it was smart footy from them, right? Mateus Fernandez lays it off to Pablo, I believe it is. Pablo lays it back off. And for some reason, our defense just stalls. Our defense just didn't account for that happening. And then, boom, he shoots it, and I think it's over. It's 1-0. And Raya, last second, moves his leg, saves. And when you're talking about Premier League moments, you're talking about what's his name? Talking about Heung-min Son, 23-24, losing to City with that final chance, which he should have scored. But I forgot the goalie's name. Starts with a S. Saving the shot. And what a save it was. And that was season defining for them and won them the Premier League. And almost in opposite circumstances, away from home, 1-0 lead against a bogey team of ours. And who steps up this time? David Raya. Of course, we don't have the lead at the time, but we end up winning 1-0. Whereas, same thing with that City game. And it's hilarious because the circumstances are exactly the same. If City drew that game, Arsenal go on to win the Premier League because of goal difference. If we draw this game, City probably go on to win the league because of goal difference. It's insane. We had 2 moments today. Or no, 3 or 4 moments today, I guess I would say. You have the first one, Raya save. Amazing. Second one, Odegaard to Trossard. Beautiful Odegaard. Third one, Gabriel block. And then the fourth one, the controversy, I guess, which is, David Raya right after, making an imperious save and being so good this game, right? And saving us when he needed to. It seems like the ball just goes through his hands in a corner and then Wilson scores the goal. And honestly, my heart shattered. I was already thinking I was going to have a heart attack. My heart was pounding. I couldn't stay still. But after that goal, everything, I felt the emotion drop. My heart sank. My stomach twisted. But we see that David Raya is clearly fouled for the corner. I understand the physical game now, and I'm an Arsenal fan, trust me. I understand it being physical. It's been done to us, Chelsea away, for example, and we've done it to other teams, right? And I'm sure the rival fans and the haters can mention so many times where we have, been physical with the goalie and it leads to a corner goal. I'm not, I cannot deny that. That's what the Premier League has gone to, and maybe we have pushed that revolution, I guess. But this wasn't just being physical, because then I would have blamed Raya and it would have been sad because he made such a good save and he threw it away at the end. But this time it wasn't that. This time it was Pablo has his arm out like this, not only in front of Raya's neck, so he can't actually go up, but also on top of that, it's on his left arm. And you see it, his right arm's in position, and his left arm is the one that he's trying to push up, but cannot catch it. He cannot collect it like he normally would with the left arm going like this and catching it like that, because Pablo's arm is literally holding his wrist. It's a foul every day of the week, and I understand that, people commenting about the physicality and how ironic, etc., but I do not care. I could not care less. We have had so many decisions go against us across the last 3 or 4 seasons. So many egregious, painful decisions that have gone against us. And a few have gone our way as well. It's only right that's a foul. That's a foul, and I understand that the haters are upset, and the haters are like, given that what we do in corners, that should not be a foul, or it's just we give what we get. But we never do that, not to that level. And when we do not get the goal for it. So it's a foul every day. It's a foul, and I think because of the moments, it's a deserved win, a big win. I think Arteta has to hold blame a little bit for it being so tight. And if we did throw away that game, I would have looked at Arteta very, very angrily, I guess, because that would have been on him. In my personal opinion, there would have been a lot of blame on him. But also, a lot of the players got away with it as well. Not a lot, but a few of the forward players kind of, not stepping up to their level. But it's okay. Who cares? We put that game behind us. We've won. Now it's on to the next 2. Palace, our final game of the season away, and final game of the Prem season away, and Burnley at home next week on a Monday. Our final Emirates game. We have to go and we have to give them 5. We have to give them 6. And we have to pray that Ben Wade's back for the Crystal Palace game, because that will be a tough game. Burnley will also be a tough game just because of the pressure, because of how, Burnley have kind of, they played well today, I guess, against Villa. So we have to be careful against both teams. It's not, plan the parade too early yet. But win 2 more games and we've won the Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. and they couldn't have done it in terms of they couldn't have done this win, the third last win in the Premier League season that we need to win this title, in any other fashion. My goodness, my heart, holy.